Hi YouTube, it's Reese here, doing my second tutorial. Sorry if you can't understand me, I'm a bit ill at the moment, but I just wanted to get this video out for you. A couple of people have been asking me to do the start growl tutorial, like for the sound, which sounds like this. It's that Skrillex-y getter, barely alive drop growl. It's quite heavy, so I'm just gonna give a little rundown and some little techniques and stuff, and then you'll be able to download through liking my Facebook page. You can download the preset for Massive, which is what I use to make it, and also the channel strip if you're using Ableton, so you'll have all of my effects and automation and everything like that. So right, let's jump on in this because I don't want it to be too long. I've created it using Massive. I've got a couple of macro points which I'll talk about later on. But it consists of 3 oscillators, 1 AI on bend minus plus, oscillator 2 chrome on bend minus plus, and oscillator 3 acid on formant. Oscillator 2 and oscillator 3 are up 1 octave, and oscillator 1 is at 0. So this looks like a fairly complex patch, but it's fairly simple when you break it down. There's not too much really going on. I'll just run down through the voicing. So we've got 2 unisono, and then a macro 2 on the pan position if you hit it all the way to the right and then drag the point back, and just the usual stuff. Also envelope 4 all the way up, and for the performer, just you can copy the curve. It's on 1, 2. It's just on a performer. Right, so the wave table position is at about just a quarter up. The intensity just by the eye, and the amp all the way up. On the second oscillator, the wavetable position is pointing to the W, intensity at about quarter up, and the amp just below the A. And on oscillator 3, wavetable position 3/4, same with the intensity, and the amp just below the A. As you can see, you can just copy the patch as it is, but I will be giving it out for download. So I've run all them through a band reject, and that's set at just below the C. Same with the bandwidth is pointing towards the A, and the resonance there. So if we turn everything else off, and I'll show you what it sounds like with just the oscillators going. And then with the band reject, just opens that little bit of the high end. Then we put a bandpass filter as well, with pretty much the same sort of points, just with a little bit more there, and the cutoff is a little bit lower, but with that one it sounds like this. And the modulation oscillator is where you get the bulk of the sound, that little growly type sound. And the ring mod is just above halfway on oscillator 1. The phase is only a little bit up on oscillator 1, and the position is on oscillator 3, and that's at pretty much the bottom. I've added some bright noise just to add a bit of highs to it, some feedback just to grit it up a bit, sine shaper and parabolic shaper, yeah, I am right, yeah, to give it a bit of distortion. Added a classic tube, a bit more distortion, and a dimension expander just to widen it up, and also an EQ with an LFO while the performer on the frequency. Same if sounds pretty rubbish if you don't have the performer going from 2 to 1. I would definitely recommend changing it up maybe from the start. I don't know what it sounds like. I'll just try it now. Yeah, it gives you a different sound, but we'll have it at that one. So macro 1 is the wavetable position for AI, which will change the sound just ever so slightly. So that's pretty much it in massive. Obviously restart to fire gate as well. I'm sorry I'm a bit relaxed with it, but I'm giving you the patch, so you can just go ahead and download that. So we'll get onto the effects chains after it now. Just an OTT, a limiter, camel crusher, and an EQ8. EQ8 just to take out the low end of the sub. With this, I've got the macro knobs, but I haven't actually mapped anything in. It's just if you want to create a bit of movement, you can. So without all these on it, it sounds like that. We add the OTT. Just a bit of compression. It squeezes it down, reduces the gain a bit. Add the limiter. So a bit more gain on it. The camel crusher and the EQ, and that is pretty much it. As I said, like to download. All the patches will be in there, and also the channel strip. I'll be doing another tutorial in about a week, so post in the comments if you want me to cover a specific sound. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll be doing a lot more tutorials.